Hey everyone, and welcome back to this class, Advanced Convolutional Neural Networks. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about the dataset we're going to use for the next example, called Fashion MNIST. I thought this was interesting because we had always used MNIST in the past, and it's sort of now the basic sanity check for whether or not your algorithm works. But it's so common that people think we've essentially overfitted to it, and given the progression of our algorithms, we need a new standard. Basically, the motivation is that MNIST is too easy, and an algorithm working on MNIST no longer suggests that it's going to work on today's problems. So Fashion MNIST attempts to be the new benchmark. So what is Fashion MNIST? Well, it's a set of images, about the same number of samples as regular MNIST, and exactly the same dimensions. 28 by 28 images in grayscale. Just like MNIST, there are 10 classes, but these are things people can wear, such as t-shirt, dress, sneaker, and so on. To get Fashion MNIST, I'd recommend just Googling it, which should take you directly to the Kaggle page where you can download the dataset as usual. Note that you have to log into Kaggle and accept the terms of agreement before you can download anything. For this dataset, we're going to place the files in large files /Fashion MNIST, and we're going to be using the file train.csv as usual. Note that you could theoretically also use the ubyte files, which are convenient because they are smaller in size, but the data structure is more complex than a CSV, so the code to load it in is also more complex. So we won't do that. We'll just use the CSV, since then we can use pandas to load in the data with just one line as usual. So as an exercise, I want you to write the code from the next code lecture, but without looking at it first. If you've written any deep learning code in the past, this should be really easy, even if you've never used Keras before. As usual, we're going to follow these same 3 steps. And by the way, sometimes people aren't familiar with these steps. Sometimes there's a fundamental misunderstanding about what we're trying to do in machine learning. So if any of these 3 steps confuse you, please use the discussion board or the Q&A. We simply cannot move on if you do not understand these 3 basic things. The reason is, most machine learning scripts we write will consist of just these 3 steps. So if this confuses you, then most other scripts are also going to confuse you. So step number 1 is to load in the data. Step number 2 is to build a CNN. Remember that this is just a few lines in Keras. Step number 3 is to fit the model to the data and plot the loss and accuracy. Remember, you can always check the Keras example from ANN class 2 if you don't remember how the basic syntax of Keras works. Good luck.